Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Welcome back to Coastal Living. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a makeover theme today, not even on purpose, well, maybe a little. And we're very excited to welcome Tim Mack, who's a professional hairdresser, and he is going to be jazzing up Jocelyn's hair today and giving us hopefully a look that we can all kind of achieve at home, right, with a little bit of practice?
I think so.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tim.
Well, my name is Tim Mack. Everyone knows who I am. I actually live here in the Coastal Bend, and I own, with a partnership, a local salon here in town. And I travel also doing some hair shows, also doing hair competitions, just having a great time. I really do love my industry. Been in it for a long time, and I've always wanted to do it ever since I was a little kid.
Really? And is there like a moment that you remember when you were a little kid that was like, hair, that's what I want to do?
I actually started off cutting my brother's and my sister's hair when I was younger. Let's just say back in the day, they didn't come out so well.
No, I
But you know, with a lot of practice, you get better and you get better. And then after a while, my mom was like, you know what? I'm tired of paying for you to get your hair done. You can do it yourself. I took it as a challenge and I went for it. So.
There you go. Awesome. And tell us what you have in mind for Jocelyn today. We did some pre-curling, right?
Yeah, we did some pre-curling with Jocelyn. Jocelyn, I don't know if y'all knew, she's actually a very little petite woman. And she's on my Christmas list today, but we're gonna have some fun. Her hair is actually very, very nice, but because of her height, we need to bring her up a little closer to heaven. Right. So we're actually gonna do a style that's very similar to what we call boho, which is a cross between a little bit of hippie meets bohemian kind of look. And this is just a look. She's been at the station all day long. She wants to go hang out and take it straight to happy hour. So we're gonna have some fun with her hair. This is actually dirty hair. Dirty hair.
Dirty hair.
Dirty hair. Dirty hair. It's 3 days, which is actually perfect hair. There's nothing wrong with not washing your hair. Just wash the rest of your body.
Please tell those men out there, because the guys are the ones judging us. You're like, ew, you're not going to wash your hair. As long as you wash everything else, it's okay.
Yeah, wash everything else. Just wash everything else.
Please.
So just to get her hair prepped, we wanted to add a little bit of texture to it, just so it can have a little bit of body, a little bit of movement. And I am a big fan of a dry shampoo, you guys. Big fan.
And us getting ready in the morning, it's like a huge cloud of dry shampoo.
Just a big cloud. But the dry shampoo is going to help get a lot of the oil out. And you guys, when it comes to a dry shampoo, you always want to make sure that you're working with one that actually has a really good translucent base to it. I know that you have some that are out there that are made of talc, and talc on darker hair. We live in South Texas. We have a lot of Latinas, darker hair. So you want to be sure that you're using something that maybe has tapioca in it. It has a more translucent finish to it. That way when it goes on the hair, it doesn't leave any kind of residue.
And what about those ones that are tinted? Do you recommend those, or do you want to invest in a good dry shampoo? A
good dry shampoo is good. I don't have a problem with tinted ones as long as it matches the hair. So if you're a blonde and you put a red one on, that wouldn't be a good combination for you.
Gotcha.
And then also, don't be scared of an oil. I actually like working with an oil that really helps restore a lot of lipids. When we are in South Texas, we know we're talking to people that are around dry climates, and they're always worried about shine. They're always worried about it feeling really, really dry. So a nice oil on the hand, just enough just to kind of break through the hair, we can go in and we can actually create a fun look. So for her boho look, I'm actually gonna take a section of her hair. She actually does a deep part. I like going in and working with the product. I start in the front and I take the piece and I literally go right above it, and twist it. Now, as I'm twisting, as I'm picking up, I'm also taking another section of hair as well, and I'm adding it into it. Now, most people would say, I want it to lay smooth, but the best part about it, we're doing a boho look. If a few pieces fall out, it's cool. It looks awesome. It looks really, really cool. But one thing I do want to do is I want to keep her heavy part, because we still want to be able to pull it apart and have some height. So again, just taking this section, as I'm working with it, I'm still pulling and picking up at the same time. Now, once I have it under control, y'all, I can get it to do whatever it is I want it to do. So once I start working with the section, I'm gonna go all the way over to one side. And then I'm gonna go in and let it just pull itself and let it style itself. Real simple. There's nothing wrong with that, especially when we're trying to get some height. And then when I'm gonna secure it using a bobby pin. Now with the bobby pins, be sure again that you're working with a color that's actually very similar to the hair that you're working with. And please don't put it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Guilty. Totally do that before. I'm pinning up my little baby hairs in the back before the shower. I do that. This is a nifty little container, too.
Oh, yeah. I love my little tools.
Check this out, guys. It's got it like all organized. Got the little clippies and the hair ties. This is what I need. Mine end up usually on the floor or like somewhere around the sink that they don't belong. So
that they don't belong.
They do not belong there. Yeah.
So again, just pulling some of the pieces out and just letting it fall where I want it to fall.
Very
Let it have
nice.
some
Oh, I
fun.
love
Still
it.
going through and pulling it. Now, when I'm placing my bobby pins in there, I'm always crisscrossing them because it literally acts like a bridge.
Okay.
And it's actually going to lock it in place so we don't have to worry about the hair falling.
Good to know. I think a lot of us have some confusion about bobby pins. If we're doing it right, do you loop it in and tuck it around? You're talking about doing an X, so that'll keep it in a secure space.
And
okay.
rule of thumb, place the bobby pin where your hands are holding the hair.
Yes. Okay. Good
Super,
to know.
super easy.
All right.
So whatever I did to this side, I'm going to do it on the opposite side.
Okay.
Again, still working around
we
her
turn
hair.
you?
I'm on
Let's
swirl,
twirl.
maybe. There we go.
She
there we
has
go.
no problem being.
And you can come and take over this spot if you'd like, so
If that's
everybody
okay.
can see you. Yes,
Just
of
slide
course.
through,
Just
you know.
squeeze through.
Yeah, 2020. I have some things that I'm working on.
Yeah, I'll switch spots with you over here. I'll be here with Jocelyn for some moral support.
Yeah.
So it's looking really pretty. And one of the things, I know I get really frustrated because I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna try this Instagram look or whatever. And then as soon as I have one lump in it, I'm like, ugh, I give up. You
get
and then
frustrated,
I just go
right?
with the chongo and I get out, like
Yeah.
a ponytail or whatever. So with this, you're saying, and I notice it too, there is a messy, but it seems like it's so intentional. So I feel like when we're trying it at home, we're like, I didn't do it right. Doesn't look like the picture. But just you're saying just let it be.
Exactly. I like to call it controlled chaos.
Okay.
It's
there you
okay
go.
for it to look a little
That's a good
crazy,
term.
a little messy. Now, there are some times when people go a little too messy. We can tap them on the shoulder and we can talk to them at another time. Yeah.
Tell you something.
So literally just still working with the section and just pulling the pieces. Just let them fall where they fall. Don't be scared. But
Okay.
again, like that section, taking it in one part, split it right down the center.
Okay.
And literally over. And every single time you're pulling that hair over, you're gonna grab some hair right underneath it.
Okay. Okay, so now we're in that crunch time, right? We only have a couple minutes left till commercial break, and this is how we feel at home when we're like, now the kids are like, Mom! And your husband's like, it's time to go, honey. And you're freaking out because you're not even halfway done with your hair. Where do we go from here?
So after it's done, it's literally gonna get pinned, again, crisscrossing, and then everything that's hanging down, a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's hanging down. What do I do now? What do I do now? Everything that you have, literally bunch it up into one hand
Okay.
and literally pin it up into a messy bun.
So we've got
I'm
about
literally
a
gonna
minute.
take
Let's
this
check it out.
section and twist.
Okay, that was fancy though. You
Yeah.
just grab it and kind
Did
of
you see
loop it
that?
around.
Just
I think.
So
loop it
literally
around,
just doing it
loop-de-doo.
again, just letting the hair do its thing, just keeping the texture.
Okay.
Literally,
You gotta put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
yeah, something like that.
Okay. I can dig it. I
You
like
got
it.
that?
Beautiful.
And then always, just don't be scared of the hair falling out. That's one of the cool things about boho. Boho is actually a really, really cool look. Everyone can rock boho.
Absolutely, especially with our South Texas weather, and if you're recycling your hair like we like to do, you know, day 2, day 3, when you're kind of, the crown of your hair ain't looking so hot anymore, here's an opportunity to kind of tease it, throw it back into a cute, like you said, boho look, and still looking very put together. This is when you get, you know, people get so used to seeing us like with the same hair every day, curled
Right.
and done, and we put a lot of time and effort into it.
Especially when we curl it,
Yeah,
right?
but it's when we do something like this that people are stopping you in the hallway like, hey.
Is that you?
Exactly. What did you do to your hair? It looks so fantastic. So Tim, before we go, we've got a few seconds left. Let's look at the complete look and tell us some advice for those people at home. We talked about the pins. How about setting the look?
Now, setting the look, you always want to finish up with a little bit of hairspray. And like I said, don't be scared to go in there and pull pieces out. Let it fall the way
big
it
thing.
falls. And let it do its thing naturally. Because it's controlled chaos. It has its own little look. And it has its own finish. Now, I'm working with a flexible hold hairspray, meaning I can still run my fingers through it.
Okay.
It's not anything that's firm.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of firm hairspray. But with something that's flexible, literally you can layer the product. And the more you layer it, the firmer that it's gonna get.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get a final look at this before we go, and I'll talk about what's coming up. We're gonna be looking at, check out this hair. Look how cute and fun that is. She's got the twisties, there's texture, and the bobby pins that match her hair color, which I think is also important, right? Awesome. All right, guys, we're doing more makeover fun when we come back on Coastal Living. Stick around.
You're watching Coastal Living on KZTV, the only lifestyle show made in the Coastal Bend for the Coastal Bend.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.